How to care for Monstera dubia. Here's a breakdown on how to care for your Monstera dubia, a beautiful vining plant prized for its unique, heart-shaped leaves. Light, bright, indirect light. Monstera dubia thrives in bright, indirect light. Avoid harsh direct sunlight, especially during the hottest parts of the day, as this can scorch the leaves. A spot near a window with sheer curtains or filtered light is ideal. Watering. Water when mostly dry. Monstera dubia is a relatively drought-tolerant plant. Allow the top inch or two of soil to dry out completely before watering again. Overwatering can lead to root rot, so it's better to err on the side of underwatering. Humidity. Moderate humidity is okay. While Monstera dubia can tolerate average household humidity levels, it will appreciate increased humidity, especially if the air is dry. Here are some ways to boost humidity. Use a pebble tray filled with water placed under the pot. Ensure the pot sits above the water level. Group plants together to create a humid microclimate. Run a humidifier near your plant occasionally. Mist the leaves occasionally with filtered or distilled water. Avoid excessive misting, which can encourage fungal diseases. Temperature. Warm temperatures preferred. Aim for a warm temperature range between 65 degrees Fahrenheit and 85 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Celsius. Protect your Monstera dubia from cold drafts and sudden temperature fluctuations. Soil. Well-draining potting mix. A well-draining potting mix is crucial to prevent root rot. Here are two options. Aeroid mix. A commercially available aeroid mix specifically formulated for plants like Monsteras is a great choice. DIY mix. Create your own well-draining mix using equal parts potting soil, perlite, and orchid bark. Fertilizing. Light feeding. Monstera dubia is not a heavy feeder. You can fertilize it monthly during spring and summer with a diluted balanced fertilizer or a fertilizer specifically formulated for aeroids. However, fertilizing is not essential for healthy growth. Support optional. Climbing plant. Monstera dubia is a vining plant in its natural habitat. While it can grow happily as a hanging plant, providing a moss pole or trellis will encourage climbing and allow your plant to showcase its cascading foliage. Additional tips. Wipe the leaves occasionally with a damp cloth to remove dust and improve light absorption. Repot only when the roots outgrow the current container. Choose a pot with drainage holes slightly larger than the root ball. Monstera dubia is generally a low-maintenance plant. With proper care, it can reward you with beautiful, heart-shaped leaves and lush growth for many years to come. How to propagate Monstera dubia. Monstera dubia can be propagated through stem cuttings. Here's how. Select a cutting. Choose a healthy stem with at least one node and a couple of leaves. Cut below a node. Use a clean, sharp knife or scissors to cut just below a node. Prepare the cutting. Remove any leaves from the lower part of the cutting. Optional rooting hormone. Dip the cut end in rooting hormone to encourage faster root development. Plant the cutting. Place the cutting in a pot with a well-draining mix or in water to root. If using water, change it regularly to keep it fresh. Provide humidity. Cover the pot with a plastic bag or place it in a propagator to maintain high humidity. Place an indirect light. Keep the cutting in bright, indirect light. Wait for roots. Roots should develop in a few weeks. Once they're a few inches long, you can transplant the cutting into soil. Is Monstera dubia rare? Yes, Monstera dubia is considered rare. It's not as commonly found in nurseries or garden centers as other Monstera species, which adds to its desirability among plant collectors. Its unique climbing growth habit and attractive, shingling leaves make it a sought-after plant. Why is Monstera dubia so expensive? Monstera dubia is expensive due to its rarity, slow growth rate, and high demand among plant enthusiasts. Additionally, its unique appearance and the effort required to cultivate and propagate it contribute to its high price. The limited availability in the market also drives up the cost. How fast does Monstera dubia grow? Monstera dubia has a moderate growth rate. Under optimal conditions, you can expect noticeable growth during the growing season, spring and summer. However, it is slower compared to some other Monstera species. Providing it with the right care, such as adequate light, humidity, and support for climbing, can help it grow more robustly. Rhaphidophora Cryptantha versus Monstera dubia. The leaves of Monstera dubia feature a predominantly light coloration with dark green veins, while the Rhaphidophora Cryptantha presents a reverse pattern, with leaves mostly dark green and adorned with light veins. Furthermore, a noticeable distinction is the direction in which the leaves align, pointing in different directions for each plant. Monstera dubia versus Scindapsus. My Monstera dubia puts out tiny, heart-shaped leaves at first, while the Scindapsus pictus starts with much rounder, more mature-looking leaves from the get-go. Once they get going, the Monstera dubia is the real show-off. It's starting to develop those amazing splits in its leaves, just like my Monstera deliciosa, which is so exciting. I haven't seen any signs of that on the Scindapsus yet, but it does have this gorgeous silver variegation that the Monstera doesn't. I think they both have their own unique charm,